Alrighty. Hello, YouTube. Let's fire up this here TikTok. Three, two, one, and there we is. Alrighty. We're notifying viewers that you're live. Katie, how you doing? Good to see you here. Hope you had a great weekend. Panda Fontaine, welcome to the live stream. Katie says, hey. Julie Bow, what's going on, Julie Bow? Julie Bow says, hi, beautiful angel DL. Hello, Julie Bow. Good to see you. Dirty Hippie Gypsy, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Malibu, welcome. Pleasure to have you here. Michael Etherto, welcome to the live stream. Hot, sexy mess, welcome to the motherfucking live stream. Rosanna, welcome to the live stream. Anastasia, welcome to the live stream. Hope you all had a great weekend. Grateful Avi, welcome. Pleasure to have you here. Sheila, my dear Sheila. How you doing, Sheila? Good to see you here. Sheila says, hello, DL. How are you, Sheila? I am better than I deserve. I'm pretty sure that's true. Dirty Hippie Gypsy Mom, thank you for liking the live stream. I truly appreciate that. For those of you showing up here for the first time wondering who the hell I am, what's going on here, and what this is all about, I am DL Mercury, guitar player and vocalist for vampy industrial metal band I Bleed Mercury out of Salt Lake City. If you're into bands and artists like Manson, Nine Inch Nails, Static X, Rammstein, Sisters of Mercy, Gary Newman, Rob Zombie, and a dash of David Bowie, you will love I Bleed Mercury. You can check out our music on all music streaming platforms. I live stream here every Sunday from 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time until 3. You got me for 2 hours. Don't do a whole lot of self promotion on the live streams. This is really just a place for like minded people, you know, the spooky kids, to hang out, share a few laughs, have a good time, and chill. Decompress from the negativity of the week and get ready for the negativity of the upcoming week. It never ends, folks. Get used to it. Katie says, I did, but I'm ill today. Don't want to gross you out, but let's say things are coming out both ends. Well, mission accomplished. You did gross me out. I hope you feel better soon, though. And if you need to bail and get some rest, I totally understand. Mick, what's going on? Mick says, what in the hell is up with you? What a question. My head is, I used this analogy earlier today to describe events of late, that my head is spinning on top of my shoulders like a top. That is how busy I have been. I don't suppose it's a bad thing. I guess all things considered, it's a good thing. But busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. Sheila says, doing good. That's great, Sheila. Sheila, I'm just okay. I just wanted to check Sheila and make sure I was following you back. Horror Harvest, good to see you here again, my friend. Says, hey, brother, found you. This is Zodiac. What's going on, brother? Horror Harvest and I were just having a conversation about the state of the world, and everything's fantastic. Everything's just fine. You just keep eating and dancing and banging because everything's just fine. Stay asleep, keep your mouth shut, and everything will be just fine. You don't worry your pretty little heads about nothing. Actually, none of that's true. Nothing is fine. And things are probably going to get a lot worse before they get better, but I'm just telling the truth. But in the kingdom of lies, telling the truth is a radical act. Mick says, did you take lessons or learn on your own? Lessons for what? For playing guitar? I don't think I have ever taken a lesson. I am pretty much entirely self-taught. Katie says, how is the beautiful coven? Chilling like a villain, rhyming and stilling. I'm getting hoarse already because I spent all week screaming my head off. Sheila says, no Padres. So, Sheila, I'm glad you brought that up. Um, Father Demori has not gone anywhere. He's not left I Bleed Mercury, but he is taking some time off to iron out some family issues that that require his attention. He will be back, and we'll let you guys know as soon as that's going to happen. So he's not left IBM. He's still a part of this whole operation. Uh, he's just taking care of his family for the time being. Taz McGuire says, hey, what's going on, Taz? Good to see you here. Mick says, what is your favorite guitar brand? I don't have one. I wish I did. Because I wish a guitar manufacturer would make the guitar that I want, but none of them do. So I guess the closest would be Schecter, because they're fairly they're quite sturdy. At least the ones that I have owned. I've had a few now, and this is this is potentially a weapon. But it was built in. I think this was built in 1998, so it's it's quite old, and I have no idea what their quality is like nowadays. It's a good beater guitar. I wouldn't say it's ultra high quality, but there's just that I have found there's no companies that have ever made the guitar that I really want, that I could fall in love with. So I don't really have one. At this point, it would, like I said, it would probably be Schecter, but ultimately, I'm really just going to have to bite the bullet and pay the $2,000-$3,000 to have a custom guitar made the way that I want it. Broken Halo says, hello, sire. How have you been? Broken Halo, I have been so damn busy. It literally feels like maybe just a couple of days ago that we were here last week and I was doing the live stream. Mick says, love it. Katie Bleeds Mercury says, sorry, I'm all right. I will be here. I've looked forward to this all week. Julie Bo says, hi, beautiful angel. I have some new pics for my comic. I'll add them when I finish the book. Sounds good, Julie. Send that over as soon as it's ready. Bat Anonymous says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, good sir. Good to see you here. Hope you and Mrs. Bat had a great weekend. Sheila says, hope he's doing well. He's doing all right. It's a tough time. It's a challenging time for sure, but he is a warrior, and he'll come out all right. Sheila asks, how about Spies? What happened to him? I haven't talked to him in a spell. It's been a few months. I was actually just thinking about giving him a call and seeing how he's doing. Mick says, that's awesome. Mr. Ricky, thank you for sharing the live. Katie Bleeds Mercury says, yes, to me it always feels like no time at all. Scott Bennett, 466, says, what's wrong with you, brah? I'll tell you what, Scott. I will allow you to make that diagnosis. I await your piercing insight into my problems and what you think is wrong with me, and we'll start from there. I would like to hear I'd like to hear you go first. Katie says, Scott, what do you mean? I think Scott was pretty clear, but I would like him to serve. Scott, you serve. Ball's in your court. Heather says, Heather 420 Asylum says, you remind me of the guy that sings, do you want to hurt me? Do you want to make me cry? Um, I'm blanking on the song, Heather. I'm not quite sure what song you mean. Stormy, thank you for the rose. Much appreciated, my dear. Scott Bennett says, give me a few hints. No can do, my friend. You're going to have to rely on your own intellect and perceptive powers. No assists. That is the nature of life. Life is tough. Nobody's coming to save you, sink or swim. Strong survive, and the weak end up on a plate with salt and pepper. Nobody is coming to assist me, and so I am not assisting anybody. I mean, all things being equal, of course. I am certainly not suggesting that a bit of charity is not in order from time to time. But Scott, I think you're quite confident and capable. So, and if if you presented a laundry list of all my problems and you just absolutely owned me, I want the glory for that victory to be all yours. I don't want to take away any of your glory by helping you out. So you go right ahead, my friend. Katie says, well, what kind of question is that, Scott? I guess we'll find out. If he possesses the intellectual firepower to make any kind of compelling statement, I'm here. I am presenting myself for public scrutiny and inquiry and criticism. Let's see what you got. Take your best shot. Motherfucker, yeah! Bat Anonymous says, and Scott's high powered perspective. In fucking deed. But hey, it's cool. Hey, maybe Scott will be right. Maybe he'll present something that's true, correct, whatever. And I'll concede. Heather 420 Asylum says, I don't know, I just got that vibe, but I like you. Well, thank you, Heather. I truly appreciate that. I think I'm fairly likable. I try to present my best self on live stream everywhere, actually. Honestly, I fail a lot. Randy Warrior, what's going on, Randy? Good to see you here. Hope you and family had a great weekend. Heather says, I like your dress up. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. Katie says, no hints, Scott. You need to work this out if you're so clever. Sheila says, boy, go. Scott Bennett says, you're actually a funny dude. You're pretty cool. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. I try to be cool. Do I try to be funny? I suppose I do. I'm taking time to think about it now because I don't think that I think about it. So maybe I don't try. Maybe I just open my mouth and spew. I think that's the truth. I think I just open my mouth and I roll with whatever comes out. And I keep it pretty spontaneous. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I try to be funny. I would say probably not. I would say I'm pretty random and spontaneous. But in any case, Scott, thank you. I appreciate that. I am open to criticism, particularly public criticism. It'll either give me an opportunity to flex my ego by dunking on someone, or it'll be a learning opportunity by presenting myself for dunking by somebody else. Somebody else can dunk on me, and it'll be a learning experience, and hopefully I'll come away from the experience smarter and wiser. Ben Anonymous says his diagnosis is going to be so disappointing. Some sometimes okay, it's probably rare, but sometimes the diagnosis is like there's this I guess he's a debate bro on YouTube. His name is Andrew Wilson, and uh, he's he's collecting some pretty impressive W's lately. Uh, Honestly, he's just cutting through swaths of fools like a knife through warm butter. Um, in fact, there's a guy that I listen to from time to time, Dave Smith, who runs the Part of the Problem podcast. And Andrew wrecked Dave. Dave was just completely at Andrew's mercy. He is a very impressive debater. Uh, so the um, sometimes the diagnosis is impressive. I never heard of this guy before, Andrew Wilson, but his debate game is um, finely tuned, and I can only imagine of what this Andrew guy might think of my worldview. But as I get older, I become less and less married to my politics and my worldview because, um, in the scheme of things, I'm not convinced that it matters much. I'm not going to change anybody's mind. And um, that energy that I would spend arguing, debating, posting arguments online that would definitely change people's mind, for sure. That energy is much better used in other places. That's emotional currency, man. And I have a limited supply of it. Just like any currency, there's a limited supply. When I deplete that tank, I've got to refill it. So I prefer to funnel my precious time, energy, emotional currency into more rewarding activities. Anyway, I totally got off on a tangent, but you guys are here for it, right? Teresa Blair says, "Are you a real vampire?" No, I am totally fake. I am a figment of your imagination. I am an illusion, a hallucination, if you will, conjured by the Matrix in cooperation with your subconscious. This image that you see of me has been gathered from all the particulate, disparate bits and pieces of memory and experiences in your mind, cobbled together by the technological infrastructure loosely referred to as the Matrix. And I have now finally been able to achieve critical mass sufficient that I am appearing to you in physical form as a handsome cyberpunk vampire. There you go. Jeez, where does this bullshit come from? I just open my mouth and it falls out. Scott Bennett says, "Dude, what's your occupation?" I do various assorted bullshits. There's certain parts of my personal life that I keep personal for good reason. Uh, I will say that I am involved in sales and promotion, and I have a supervisory role uh, working in a contractor capacity for the government. Katie says, "Oh, so Scott gave an answer I didn't expect. Yes, he is funny. Change your opinion now, huh?" Guys, it could be that, I mean, certainly this has happened to you when you've been texting somebody, that a statement or a sentence or a question maybe came off as being snarky or sarcastic or offensive when that's not what you intended. And the same is true when it comes to the chat. Uh, Sometimes people aren't trying to, it is not their intent to offend. They're not commenting with any malice or sarcasm. They're just making a statement or posing a question. So that could be the case here. Um, Honestly, I mean, and I've talked about this before, I, I, I hope for trolls. The risk is that when I own one of them, they get salty and they complain to TikTok, and we end up catching a ban, which sucks. Heather 420 Asylum says, I love it. Thank you, Heather. I truly appreciate that. Freckled Godzilla, that's fantastic. Says, do you really want to hurt me? Culture Club lead singer Boy George. Freckled Godzilla coming in with the win, with the assist and the layup. And now I know the song that Heather was referring to. So I remind Heather of Boy George. Abby Young says, hello. Hello, Abby. Good to see you here, my dear. Welcome to the I Bleed Mercury live stream. Manel Nosage. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hope you have a great day. All love in this world. Get some we can all share. Agreed. Randy Warrior says, just driving down to Santa Cruz. Holy hell. Enjoying our little family vacation. Randy, that is super cool. Pictures, or I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it just make me depressed. We're talking Santa Cruz, California, right? I miss that chunk of the planet so much. I took it for granted. Living near the beach, being in the city, well, a decent city. Salt Lake City is not a decent city. Salt Lake City is a dog shit city. Don't come here. Dark Angel says, love your lipstick. What color is it? It is, well, blue, obviously. Don't know if there's like the brand is Mynina. I don't know if there's like a trademarked name of the color. I think it's just blue. But it's marketed as liquid eyeshadow. It's about $4 on Amazon. Comes in a nice open-proof container. Make sure you have a blowtorch and a chainsaw ready to get the damn thing open. But works great on the lips, and when it sets, it doesn't smear. And that's what I like about it. Scott Bennett says, dry humor. Very dry, crusty. I need some lotion for my dry humor. Sheila McPeak says, Boy George, Do You Really Hurt Me is the song. Correct. Mundo. Heather says, you're just funny. You don't got to try. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. I'm funny and stuff. I was told many, many decades ago when I was quite young and shy and stupid and had no charisma, no friends, being raised in a dysfunctional home and crushing poverty, that, hey, all you have to do is be funny. If you can be funny, if you can make a chick laugh, you'll be swimming in women. And I don't know when or where it happened, but clearly I mean, if you all say I'm funny, then I must be funny. Who else? Who else can we ask? Am I funny? Do I think I'm funny? I truly don't know. Maybe sometimes, but I think you guys are far more qualified to make that determination than I am. But swimming and women, I don't know that that was ever the case. Katie says you're naturally funny, DL, which is a good thing. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. Sheila says I text error my dog pulling while text. Sheila, you lost me. I'm sorry, my dear. Scott Bennett says definitely dry humor. Told you you were cool. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that, and thank you for the follow, my friend. Thank you so much. I thought I had some lotion here for my dry, flaky humor. I could have went in a really bad place with the lotion joke. I'm I'm gonna exert a little bit of self-control, and I won't do that. Freckled Godzilla says, "Do you really want to hurt me?" Culture Club lead singer Boy George. Scott Bennett says, "Like a hot knife through butter." Einstein. Katie says, "Scott, he doesn't need us to tell him he's cool. We already know." Bat Anonymous says, "The world is descending into chaos and entropy." Could not agree more. And there's very likely little that can be done about it. So, my advice to people generally, my unsolicited advice is pick your fantasy, carve out your own little corner of the world, have a good time, and keep your attention on your own affairs. Because the prospect of thinking any one person, or certainly even a lot of persons, are going to change the world for the better, I don't think that's possible. Yes, most of the populace is astoundingly mentally ill. That's a fact. There's that scene from the movie Seven, some of you will recall, where Brad Pitt's character, they've got the serial killer in the back seat, played by Kevin Spacey, and they're just having a conversation while they're driving out to this place out in the desert. And Brad Pitt's character looks back and says, "Do you know when you're crazy? Like, do you realize when you're absolutely bonkers? You wake up in the morning and say, 'Wow, it is amazing how crazy I really am.'" Well, that's funny because the answer, generally speaking, is no. People don't have a clue as to how disturbed they are, how delusional they are, how far removed from reality their perceptions are. And I know because they're all over social media. They're all over my social media. I'll open up a social media app and it's on full unapologetic display. Mental illness writ large, anxiety, depression, addiction, and I can go on and on. We all know what the laundry list is. I don't need to regale you with what the facts you're already aware of. But when that is the case, when the whole populace is various degrees of bonkers, Looney Tunes, experiencing some manner of extreme emotional and psychological distress, it's not a rational expectation to imagine that enough of a segment of a population, and we're talking about not tens, hundreds of millions of people, are going to suddenly emerge from the fog of mental and psychological distress and start making rational decisions. That strikes me as inherently unlikely. So have a good time, enjoy yourself, take care of yourself and your family, and I think that's about the best that can be hoped for. Anyway, moving on. Ghostface, what's going on, Ghostface? Good to see you here, my dear. She says, "Hello, how are you, Ghostface?" I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much, and I hope the very same for you. Boy, that's pretty gnarly, isn't it? My ring hitting the glass table. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. Heather says, wait, are you real? Are those your real teeth? Indeed they are. Here's a red Sharpie. There you go. Scott Bennett says, I haven't gave you a diagnosis yet. Well, that's true, and feel free anytime. Katie Bleeds Mercury says, so give one, Scott. LOL. Heather says, haha, yeah, I almost believed you. Well, there's nothing stopping you from believing you. I won't stop you from believing you. My response regarding your question, Heather, was really just a dramatic, overwrought way of saying uh, you you go with your perception, because and this connects with what I was just talking about regarding the state of affairs with the world, the mental health of planet Earth. Uh, whether I answered in the affirmative or the negative, what does it matter? People, you, I, we're going to choose the answer ultimately anyway, regardless of whether or not it reflects the truth. Um, I'm here to hang out with you guys, have a good time, share a few laughs, some positivity in a dramatically negative, stressful world. And it seems to have gained some traction. So that's why I do this. I don't promote our band too much. I'm in a band. This channel is, are they called channels, profiles, whatever they're called here on TikTok, is called I Bleed Mercury. That is the name of the band. And we do talk a little bit about the band, but the primary goal here is really just to try to spread a little bit of positivity in a world that is overcome with fear and anger. As Father DeMori likes to say, as he puts it, kind of your decompression chamber from the stress that we all have to deal with during the week. Roxy Mo, what's going on, Roxy Mo? Good to see you here, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Scott Bennett says, bingo, brah. It's interesting how it's kind of a new slang term, I guess, brah or bruh. As I used to, in another life, I hung around a lot of Filipinos, and that was like a Filipino thing. Hey, brah, what's happening, brah? Hey, brah. Anyway, whatever. It's not important. It's neither here nor there. Turkey bacon. Holy shit. What's going on, man? Good to see you. I was at the gas station last night, and I thought, I wonder what he's up to. I hope you're doing all right, man. How's life treating you? And wondering what happened with that company, if they're even around. I don't see their brand much anymore, really at all. Roxy Mo says, being on the spectrum, I'm triple checking my tonality when I type. Haha. Roxy Mo, give it a rest. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, you do you. I guess if it makes you feel better, but don't feel that you have to walk on eggshells around me. Heather says, yes, texts come off as mean when not meaning to. We just can't hear tone. Exactly. Scott says, I'd never do that. Report anyone. If you can play, I can pay. Well said, my friend. Motocross Warehouse says, what's up? What's going on, my friend? Welcome to the live stream. Heather 420 says, yes, a boy George. I don't know why. Just when I see you, that song went through my head. Lee May, Devil Horns. I pop the thumb out nowadays because that's I love you, I am told, in sign language. And I used to know and use sign language, but I stopped using it because I didn't need to, and it's all gone now. Heather says, OMG, you're from Utah. I grew up in Utah. This is not, I'm not originally from Utah, yeah, but I've been here for quite some time, for the most part. Randy says, yep, Santa Cruz, California. I take all the pictures. It's so pretty today. I bet. I would love to be on the beach right now. After the live stream, of course. Roximo says, that's the second time I've heard one of my American friends say, don't come here, haha. Well, it's true. It's not all bad here. There's some incredible, beautiful, amazing things to see in the States. But the cities generally are to be avoided. And if you have to be in a city, be in a city where it doesn't snow. Katie says, IBM rules. Thank you so much, Katie. Heather says, and I ask if you're straight, or is that too personal? Not too personal at all. Straight as an arrow. I have always been, to a fault, addicted to women. Worshipful of women. That has been my great weakness, is the extent to which I have allowed women to rule my mind. Love, adore, lust. Women are just fucking incredible. So yeah, straight as an arrow. I've always been that way, and it's only been as I've packed on a few decades that I've started to um, exercise a little sanity when it comes to my relationship with women, and be a little more measured, a little more guarded, a lot more careful. But that was not always the case. Roximo says, if you're in Salt Lake City, it must be an awesome city. People make the places. I appreciate that, Roximo. Thank you. Uh, Salt Lake is a rough old town and not the safest town. It has a reputation, but being conservative, buttoned down, Salt Lake is a mean town, and you better have your wits about you if you're in the city, because it's a potentially dangerous place. Katie says, Heather, he's the straightest guy you'll ever know. Yeah, I don't think I'm ultra. What's that? Influencer, internet influencer, manosphere, male, macho. What's the fucking word I'm looking for? It's generally used to describe somebody or something that's at the top of the food chain. But I don't have any use for all of that posturing and strutting, because I don't have a whole lot of use for uh, the the ego, um, the ego magnification I guess, that comes from impressing people, or I don't need your approval. I don't claim membership in, and don't seek the approval of, any group, organization, cult, collective, community. It's like, you all do you and I'll do me. I don't need anyone's approval, so I don't feel compelled to uh, demonstrate some caricature of what a masculine male ought to be. I consider myself masculine, but I don't think I need to be overbearing about it to really make you think that I'm a masculine male. I'm not concerned really with what your opinions are in that regard. I really don't have a message. I move through the world quietly, low key, and I think you're all doomed. A lot of these influencers will claim to be motivated by a desire to some noble cause that revolves around the notion that the population of men these days have become spineless and ineffectual. And while that's true, um, I just can't be bothered um, to try to do anything about it because I don't think much can be done about it. Um, the truth is that a lot of these guys they're making money with what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. I am pro-capitalist. Sorry, but I'm not sorry actually. Um, but I think they're less motivated by some noble righteous crusade than the fact that they've just monetized their message and turned it into a business. Um, Nothing wrong with that, I guess, but I just don't feel the need to try to impress you guys with how manly I am. Boy, that was a long-winded answer. Sorry about that. So, whether you think I'm straight or not, doesn't bother me. I don't care. It's none of my business. But for the record, yes, I am straight. Katie says, but I let him answer. Sorry. Sheila says, what, you shy? That's hard to believe. Yeah, I, as hard as that may be to believe, awkward, unsure of myself, no charisma, no self-confidence, etc., etc., etc. But many decades in this world will will fix that. Katie says, yes, we do like a man who can make us laugh. Ghostface says, I visit Salt Lake all the time. It's great to visit, not to live, for sure. I, I wouldn't even feel compelled to visit, honestly. Heather says, sorry if that was too much, lol. It's meant innocent. I'm married. No worries at all, Heather. No offense taken. Walking on Sunshine, thank you for the follow. Scott Bennett says, discipline. Discipline is important. Discipline paves the way to your ambitions being realized and manifesting as reality. Heather says, haha, yeah, I heard lotion and was like, no, he didn't. Yes, I did. Yes, I sure did. Katie says, haha, no, you should have done a lotion joke, but then again, maybe not. I certainly could have, but I exercised a little bit of self-control. I held it together. It was difficult, but I did it. Ghostface, thank you for the heart puff. Much appreciated, my dear. Thank you, thank you. Scott Bennett says, dude, I haven't been this entertained in a long time. Thanks. Wish you luck, brah. Scott, you are most welcome, my friend. That is why I do this. Spread a little bit of positivity, uh, generate a good time. Let's have some fun. Hang out and turn the frowns upside down or something. I don't know. That's all I got. These are the jokes, folks. Heather says, you can change the world for the better by offering love. I absolutely agree. Offering love and kindness, I truly, I do agree with that. Um, and I don't know that there's anything that I can say to diminish the truth of that. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in a reality where everybody's lost their mind, everybody's gone insane, everybody is offering counter to solid, demonstrable, objective fucking reality. And attempting to, uh, any attempts at telling the truth are met with severe resistance. You will be punished by telling the truth. You will be deplatformed. You will be debanked. You will be dejobbed. You will be de-lifed. It's just not worth the trouble. The world's population is running towards, at full speed, with a great deal of enthusiasm, running towards the edge of a cliff. Who am I to try to stop them? I'll be okay. I'll be all right. I'll be okay. But any notions of changing the world or any of that horseshit, it is true that love and kindness uh, can change the world when it manifests as a sort of a reaction, like a chemical reaction. Uh, that takes a long time, and a population of human beings who are mature enough to accept it. But the population is ignorant, addicted to. This turns into a tedious conversation really fast. Um, it is difficult to be kind when you want to be unkind, to show love when you want to be pissed off, to be resentful when you ought to forgive. Those things are easy. It takes discipline and maturity to be kind, to be grateful, to forgive. And the population isn't. So rather than worry myself about changing the world, while I do agree with you, Heather, and I make generally a reasonable effort to be loving and kind, I don't have high hopes that that's going to result in any sort of meaningful change in the world anytime soon. I would love to be wrong. Katie says, one person can't change a world, but you can change a world for one person. Put that on a bumper sticker. Heather says, no, we really don't have a clue. The problem is, people will get behind the keyboard and lay it all out. All the problems with the world, everything that's wrong. And they'll tell you, they got a list and it's well rehearsed. The problem is you. And nobody wants to admit that. We are the guilty ones. Oh well, whatever. Pick your fantasy, folks, and have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Heather says, because there is no really reality. Well, I disagree. I believe there is objective reality. But good luck trying to get the world to agree, because the world is insane. The world is operating in a delusion far removed from objective reality. So what can you do? Not much. Kel says, how's Padre doing? He's okay. He's working through he's got some family that he's taking care of at the moment. So when he gets that nice and tidied up, he'll be back. But he has not left, I believe, Mercury. He's just taking care of some family at the moment. Scott Bennett says, very unlikely. Roxy Mo says, I imagine I'm in Dark Souls, corruption everywhere. I try to glorify it and make it part of the game. Dark Souls, I played a little bit, but I'm not a gamer these days. I just don't have time for it. Heather says, you sound like you have an old soul. That's another bit of bullshit that people like to toss around that has no connection to objective reality. Well, I'm an old soul. No, I think you're trying to sound cute. I think you're trying to make it sound as though you're enlightened, that there's something about you that's special. And there probably is. There are probably many things about you that make you stand out, that make you special. But that's something that everybody is saying. You can open up your social media, regardless what group or demographic you hang around with on social media, and you'll see this tossed around. I'm an old soul. How did you arrive at that conclusion? Please. Now I know I know, Heather, that you meant it in a complementary fashion. But, in the kingdom of lies, telling the truth is a radical act. And if the world stands for lies, then I am going to stand for truth. And I would like to take some opportunities from time to time to push back against it just a little bit. Like you said, Heather, love and kindness can change the world. If that's true, that by being loving and kind, we can inspire other people to be loving and kind, and it can explode like a chain reaction. Why can't the same thing be true for the truth? So, by pulling us back into reality a little bit and making some truthful declarations, I can inspire some of you to push back against the insanity that we all know it's insane. We all know that it's absolutely counter to demonstrable objective reality. And yet we walk around and lie to each other on social media in person as though these lies, these deceptions, these hallucinations are true, and we know that they're not. Maybe my declarations for the truth will inspire some of you. Requires a little bit of bravery because you may well be canceled. There's no place for the truth in the kingdom of lies. But maybe that will have some positive effect. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. But I just can't bring myself to pretend. I just can't bring myself to spit out the scripted lie. Ghostface says, I am great. I am on vacation and planning on not doing shit. That sounds like fun. I may join you. I would like to join you, but I have too much to do. Bat Anonymous says, we can't recover from where we are. The majority of the population have pushed us past the tipping point. I would agree. The point of no return. The point in a journey where it would take longer to turn around and go back to the beginning than it would to just simply finish the journey. Lioness, thank you for the follow. Lioness says, love your teeth. Thank you, Lioness. I appreciate it very much. And thank you for the hearts, my dear. Heather says, you're in a band. I'm going to check it out. Thank you, Heather. That's I Bleed Mercury. That's the name of the band. Where's my guitar pick? I got a stack of picks. Which one do I want? How about the old text? And I'll just plink on the guitar while I read y'all's comments and such. Scott Bennett says Hawaii. I would love to be in Hawaii right now. Let's see. Hawaii, brah. Yeah, I think that's where they were from. Carol Bear says hello. Hello, Carol Bear. Welcome to the stream. Teach! I'm hugging you. Do you get that? Trying to around my guitar. I love you, Teach. I hope you're having a great day. I'm glad to have you here in the live stream. Let's see. Abigail Gillian, thank you for the follow. 61 comments behind. I'm going to try to catch up. I've been yapping, flapping my yap. Unico, what's going on, Unico? Says, blessed day. How are you, Unico? I am doing fantastic, my dear. I hope the very same for you. Unico says, how is the father doing? He's doing all right. He is taking care of some family at the moment, and when he's worked through all that, he will be back. Rochelle says, how you deal? And fam, love you. Welcome, Rochelle. Pleasure to have you here, my dear, as always. OG member of the I Bleed Mercury Coven. Lioness says, you're in Utah, LOL, in Salt Lake for the moment. The mountains and deserts are amazing here. Yeah, they're okay. There's some beautiful country here for sure. I am partial to let's see, the beaches and the desert of Southern California, the forests of Northern California. But uh, the politics, the taxes, the other things, the economy, make it not an easy place to make a living, or I would probably still be there. Twisted Vampirus says, "Hey family, hey Twisted Vampirus, welcome to the live stream. Pleasure to have you here with us." Heather says, "Yeah, Salt Lake's not safe. It's not. It isn't. If you're going to be here, particularly if you're going to be here after hours, you should be able to protect yourself. If you catch the drift." Twisted Vampirus, thank you for sharing the live stream. Heather says, "My dad used to tell us when driving around that if he says to duck, we better duck." Your old man was smart. Melissa Larby, welcome back. Pleasure to see you here. Says, "Hey, sire, I've caught the video once again. I've had so much going on. It's unreal. All good things, I hope." Ghostface says, "Alpha. Am I an alpha male? I don't know if I'm an alpha male. I am a quiet little entity that makes its way through the world as low key, as below the radar as possible. And I don't make, I make a concerted effort to avoid making unnecessary trouble for myself. And if there is trouble, I'm pretty well equipped to deal with it." Dead Girl, what's going on, Dead Girl? Where have you been? I hope you're doing okay these days. Man, it has been a minute. Dead Girl is awesome, guys. She was hanging around these parts, geez, like right after I started the TikTok channel. Just Zach says, "What are the powers of pure blood vamps again?" The most impressive, I think, is the one people think is least impressive, and that is the power of discernment, perception to know what is and what isn't true. It's also a curse, particularly in a world that's lost its fucking mind. Scott Bennett says, "You do absolutely throw messages. We just need to be proactive as long as you can get your bag." It is incredibly important. There are three things. Here's some more unsolicited advice. Why the hell not? I usually avoid unsolicited advice. It's going to make no fucking difference, but here it is. You will be, your future self will thank you if you make an obsession from the pursuit of physical, financial, and spiritual health. That begins with first taking an honest, brutally honest, painfully, offensively honest look and evaluation at your current state of physical, financial, and spiritual health. Identifying areas where you can improve, implementing a plan of action to turn those weaknesses into strengths, and then pursuing that plan with relentless persistence. Lioness says, "People can hardly change people's views nowadays. People don't seem to have open minds much anymore." Very true. So why bother? I have limited time and energy to waste on that shit. And sharp as I am not so deluded as to imagine I'm going to come up with arguments that's going to change anyone's mind. So I just I can't be bothered to care. But people get addicted to it. It's like a hobby. It's a low key. It's a intellectual sport for people who have traded uh, ego magnification for higher IQ pursuits. It's very lowbrow. I'm not saying that the that people who enjoy engaging in it are low IQ. I'm saying it appeals to the lower IQ. It's easy. It's uh, you know arguing politics on the internet or in person or really wherever is very base, not based. It's very base. It appeals to the lizard brain, and I just can't be bothered to engage in that shit. Roxy Mo says, "Glad you're a capitalist. It makes sense considering that that's our society, just to slay the game." Now, it probably not that I owe anybody any explanation because I don't, but I should probably point out that my understanding is that the word capitalist was originally coined as a pejorative by communists. To clarify, by capitalist I mean free market, but in reality, there will probably never be any place in the world that's truly and completely free market. So, whatever. That's another thing that I don't do. While many of my views, particularly regarding economics, lean libertarian or ANCAP, I, I don't engage in those conversations with people because one, if you agree, if you are pro Austrian economics, if you're pro libertarian, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, well, then we have very little to talk about. We agree. What is there to talk about at that point? Or you don't agree, but you lack anything resembling emotional maturity, and it degenerates into an argument I don't even care about. So there we go. Whoop, there it is. Work, fool. Demon Queen says the guitarist in the other room sure sounds productive, right? Silence for now. Hopefully that stays that way. Love Bug Mommy says, "Hey Deal, it's been a while since I've seen your live. Good to see you. Good to see you. Love Bug Mommy. Welcome back to the live stream. It has been a minute. I hope you and your family are doing freaking amazing in this crazy, crazy world." Roximo says, "Discipline is reliable. Inspiration isn't." Um, I think that, well, success probably always, at least often, requires some element of luck, of chance, of things turning out your way, but will almost certainly never happen without a great deal of time, work, usually unpleasant work, and discipline. And time, work, and discipline can fill the gaps where at times inspiration fails us. Charlotte, what's going on, Charlotte? Charlotte says, "Hello, DL." Hello, Charlotte. Good to see you, my dear. Hope you had a great weekend. That Anonymous says, "Your mother." Dead Girl says, "It's good to see you." It is good to see you, Dead Girl. Am I following? I'll make sure I'm following you. Yes, I am. Dead Girl, I love the profile pic. The black hair, the black lipstick, the piercing stare. Melissa Larrabee says, "It's been a long while since I've been on, but I'm glad to be back." Good to have you back, Melissa. Make sure I am following you as well. There we go. Heather says, "Yes." Gothic Succubus, what's going on, my dear? Good to see you. I hope life is treating you well. She says, "Hi, friend." What up? Fitting to be getting stupid up in this biatch. Biatch. Vito Galucci, thank you for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the live stream. Charlotte says, how are you doing today? Charlotte, I am doing fantastic. Gabatron, what's going on, Gabatron? Good to see you, brother. Hello, how's everyone doing? Says Gabatron. I am doing fantastic. Better than I deserve, as I like to say. And I really believe that, guys. It's not just some cutesy pie bullshit. I always say I really do. I mean, if I were to stand in judgment of my own life, the way that I have lived, the people that I've used and abused and lied to and hurt, um, I would I would almost certainly declare that the incredible blessed life that I get to enjoy now not be my fate, but something much darker and more unpleasant. So I truly do believe that I am doing better than I deserve. And yet I believe God in His infinite grace has catapulted me into a life that is far beyond anything that I would have ever allowed myself to believe is possible. And yet here we are. Heather says the problem with the world is everyone thinks their views and opinions, are fact and not just what they are. That is true. That is absolutely true. I have nothing to add. It's just truth. Omen North says I had to jump on my other profile. This is Zodiac again. Forever, brother. We know what's up. We know what's up, and we know what they are up to. Heather says we don't accept that everyone has an opinion. And most opinions are fucking stupid and not worth a moment of my consideration. So when I'm interacting with somebody who's clearly mentally ill and they want to share their mental illness with me, it's okay, all right, my friend, have a good day. That's actually rare because I just don't engage with people. I move through the world and around it as needed in an ad hoc fashion according to my will, my needs in the moment, but I don't engage. I'm not a part of your world. I'm an outsider. That's where I am most happy. Heather says, I meant by old soul like you sound wise. I get that, Heather, and I hope it was not my goal to come off as though I was attacking you. It's just, let's all make some effort to pull back to reality, truth, and rational thinking. And there's so much bullshit that people toss around as though it's true, and it's not. But I get what you're saying, Heather, and I appreciate the compliment. If I am wise, and I'm not sure that I am, it's only because I've made so many astounding mistakes, so many errors of judgment, so many stupid decisions, bad decisions, um, when I knew better. But thank you just the same. Melissa says, I gave up gaming after I had kids. Just no time for it. No time for it. I don't know how people have time to be gamers. Heather says, and that's your truth. I got to push back again. I think truth is singular, objective, and unilateral. It is not. Um, it is not contradictory. Okay, if truth is potentially unique to the individual, i.e., you have your truth, I have mine, that opens up the possibility that those two truths could be in conflict, which is a self detonating statement. That cannot be. If they were in conflict, they wouldn't be true. That would preclude them from being true. Truth can only be what it is. Anything that contradicts it is either not true, or that thing that we thought was true, we later find out is not. That that there's only one way that can go. That's more postmodern deception that's tossed around these days as though it's true, and it's not. 2 plus 2 is 4, has always been, is, and will always be, and can only ever be 4. Now, there is perception. There is your perception and my perception, and those things can and often are divergent, different, not the same. But if it's truth, then it is singular. And anything that contradicts it is by definition not true. Slithering Black Records says, "Hey Teach, how are you doing?" Heather says, "Yes, I like Domino's." Domino's the game or pizza? I'm curious because I'm seeing a lot of Domino's pizza ads on social media these days. Slithering Black says, "Do so well, I can't stand it." Joshua Darrell Griff says, "Push back against the untruth and lies." That is, I think that's ideal, and the world would transform for the better. Yes, for the better. This is not just my perception, it's just true. The world would transform for the better very quickly if that happened en masse. But people are afraid to do that, afraid to speak the truth. Not their truth. I'm not saying their truth, the truth. They're afraid because the consequences are potentially so severe, and you can't blame them. But it's not the game I'm interested in playing. I am focused entirely on my own life, my own affairs, and if the world wants to run off a cliff, head first off a cliff, have fun. Wish you the best. Good luck. Slithering Black says, "Haha, I think that mine and Deal's conversation earlier might have gotten him fired up. Maybe just a little bit." Charlotte, thank you for the lovely purple velvet hearts. Heather says, "By old soul meant you sound like you have been through many experiences and you have learned a lot." Heather, probably I've been through a few fair amount of ups and downs. Learned a lot. Man, I don't know. Anybody who knows me and has been observing me for any length of time might disagree that I have learned anything. But I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. Some of the most profound truth that I have learned is how little I know. I don't know shit, man. And I used to think I did. And you could have asked me and I would have told you. I would have been happy to tell you. I'm a smart motherfucker and I know this, this, and this, and this. Ultimately, maybe I'm wrong about everything and I just don't know shit. That much I know is true. I don't know shit. I didn't. It turns out I don't know nearly as much as I thought I did. Cinder said, "Did you get your teeth done or are they inserts?" They are, unfortunately, my teeth. Rochelle says, "I still carry your pic in my purse." Rochelle, I freaking adore you. I absolutely love you. Roximo says, "OMG, Teach, hi, gorgeous." Teach is gorgeous. She is like, the brain shorts out over the beauty of my incredible, beautiful, gorgeous adopted daughter. She just, like an alien from another world, you're not human. And I think the smartest person I have ever known. Her perception is just uncanny, surreal, preternatural. Don't ever think that you're going to lie or manipulate Teach, lie to Teach or manipulate her, because you won't. She'll have your number instantly. Before she even sees you coming, she will sense in the force, wait, there's a fucker coming right over there, and I see you, fucker. before you're even visible on her radar. I see you, you son of a bitch, and I know what you're about to try to do, but you will fail. Dead Girl says, it's great seeing you. It is great seeing you too, Dead Girl. I hope you have been all right. I see your posts from time to time on Instagram. And I hope you are healthy and thriving and well and living a life full of joy. Heather says, Coven, as a question, yes, we have a private Discord. Uh, if you would like to join, I am happy to send you a link, or you can send a request to Teej. She is our resident vampire queen, lady boss, helps us run shit behind the curtain for this band. You can send her a message and she will send you a link to the Discord if you would like to join. That goes for anybody. If you're cool, man. Are you cool, man? You better be cool, man, or we'll give you the boot. Big black leather vampy boot right up your pooter. En tu culo, pendejos. Drew Buller, thank you for the follow, my friend. Much appreciated. Joshua Darrell Griff says, the taxes are pushing people east. Have a lot of Cali people moving here to Bairdstown, Kentucky. My father and my family, my father on my father's side, my family on my father's side immigrated from Wales to Kentucky. And yeah, some of my bloodline out there in your neck of the woods. Um, yeah, so there is a great migration of people who are fed up with the state of affairs in their towns and cities that reflect the results of their votes, of their political ethos. So they took a giant shit in their own bed and they realized, wow, this is terrible. This is shitty. This is this is shitty. This is really shitty. But seem entirely disconnected with the fact that they are the ones responsible for it. So they're coming to uh, towns and cities elsewhere throughout the Union. I would like to say that they're not carrying their political ethos with them that caused the problems that they fled from, but I think that's wishful thinking. Drew Buller says, last night I had an experience at work. Tell me about it, Drew. I'm thoroughly interested now, my friend. Rochelle says, thoughts on the death of Slim Shady? No way. Okay, you're trolling me. You've got to be trolling me. Reese Kincaid, welcome, Reese. Thank you so much for the follow. Dead Girl says we should catch up on Instagram. Done. Consider it done. Absolute. Twisted Vampira says, does anyone know how Mama Cass is doing from last week's live? I've been worried about her. Yes, so I will probably be sending her a message after the live stream. She has had some health concerns, and beyond that, I'm sure you can understand, I want to respect her privacy. I would extend anybody that same courtesy when it comes to personal issues like health and the like. She's doing okay. She is a warrior. Is she doing great? I don't know if I would characterize it as great. I will say that she's dealing with some difficulties, and she's a warrior and far stronger than me. Reese says, my Bould. I am not picking up what you're putting down, my friend. I am sorry, my Bould. Rochelle says, I am an M fan, so I had to throw that in there. Yeah, and I love a lot of it. Well, it's early stuff, but the passing of Ain't No Way Emma's Gone Oh no, it's an album he's coming out with. Okay. Drew Bowler says, I was working last night with my security patrols and there was this young man who crossed my path. I went to check on him and he was in a bad place. I offered to assist. He was grateful to have met me. After we talked, I offered him a cold bottle of water. I went to get some for him, and before I went, he asked me what my name was, and I gave it. Putting your story on hold. Uh, and well done for extending a kindness to another person who needed it, Drew. High class move, my friend, for sure. Well done. Heather says people get addicted to forcing people to believe what they believe. It is that is absolutely true. Um, it's an addictive sport. There is something I call the Huxley quote that frames it perfectly, and I'll share it with you guys in a minute regarding the very thing you just mentioned, Heather. It is an addictive and destructive social sport. An addictive, destructive social blood sport. That's modern politics. But I'll share the Huxley quote here in a minute. Charlotte says, hope you're having a good weekend. Charlotte, I'm having a fantastic weekend, busy as usual. Continuing with Drew's story, says, when I went in and came out with some water, he was gone like a flash. He was in a black truck. I wished him a safe trip home prior to him disappearing, and then not even 30 minutes after my shift, I got a news notification of a fatal car crash 2 miles down the road. The truck was shown, and the report indicated the young man was pronounced no longer alive on scene. When I went home, I was restless. I wish I could have stalled him longer so it wouldn't have happened. Wow. Let us let us take every opportunity, my friends, to show a kindness to another human being, to extend forgiveness to another person who has hurt us, particularly when we're angry and we don't want to be forgiving. Let us seek forgiveness, to strive to be humble enough to admit our flaws, admit our wrongs, and seek to make amends with those whom we have harmed. Because life is fragile and fleeting, and it can be gone in a second, and then it's too late. It is trite bumper sticker wisdom. Treat each day as if it were your last, but it's true. That's some bumper sticker wisdom I can get behind. Because there will be a time when you are very near the point in life where you will have no more time, and you will wish you will be overcome with the piercing desire to go back and do things differently, and you can't get that time back. Michael Miller, thank you for the follow. Rochelle says, I see Christy. Hi, sissy. Katie says, I've been feeling better last couple hours. I hope everything has passed. Anyway, no more on that. Thank you. Bat Anonymous says, is there a date for the get together? There is not at this point. We're just generally aiming for late August. Katie says, you've certainly brightened my day, DL. Katie, thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I aim to do. Bat Anonymous says, we were looking at plane tickets, and it is a $100 round trip from JFK to Salt Lake. That's not that bad, actually. That's less than I would have thought. Heather says, it's gummy bear time, time to be elevated. Little attitude adjustment. Sarah B, thank you for the follow. Charlotte says, it's good to see you. Charlotte, thank you. What a kind, beautiful thing to say. It just blows me away that there was a time in my life where I never thought I would hear another person say something like that to me. It's good to see you. It's good to see you too, Charlotte. And thank you. That makes me feel good. Katie says, past is a past deal. We love you for who you are now. I appreciate that, Katie. Thank you so much. The power of forgiveness and amends has given me a new life without which I would not be here. Julie Bow says, beautiful angel, I think you're mighty fine and you have the most genuine reason in your voice. Julie Bow, thank you so much. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. Sweet Cream says, I love your eyes. Are they natural? Sweet Cream, thank you so much. Yes, indeed. There you go, Sweet Cream, following you back. I haven't seen you in the live stream before, so welcome. It is a pleasure to have you here, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. Heather says, right, so true. Katie says, Julie Bow, he is mighty fine. Your mom's mighty fine. Ow. Melissa says, I've had a lot of medical issues going on with my youngest gremlin. She's 5, has to have surgery. That sucks. To be 5 years old and facing down the barrel of surgery. I am reminded of something somebody told me a long time ago. It says, DL, as bad as you think things may ever get for you, remember you can step outside, throw a rock, and hit somebody who's got it worse. Somebody who would kill to have your problems. Um, so, my friend, we are sending love, prayers, good vibes to your little one, Melissa, for a uneventful surgery, routine surgery, and a speedy recovery. Mikey Zarger says, have you seen the movie Little Nicky? A long time ago. Yes, I have. Not a huge fan of Adam Sandler. I don't dislike him. I just think his comedy is kind of juvenile and lowbrow. But, hey, this is coming from a guy who has very much enjoyed a lot of juvenile lowbrow comedy. So I'm just a filthy liar. Melissa says, so that's why I haven't been on. She goes for surgery the 19th. Understood, Melissa. No worries. You take care of family first. Drew says, is it normal for someone to feel this guilt trying to save someone from despair? I think it's entirely normal and natural. It is not beneficial for you to carry it with you. There is nothing you can do at this point. And that, my friend, is life. The moment to affect that situation has passed. And if you carry that with you, you will find that it is a poison that will stink up your life unnecessarily. So here's some more unsolicited advice. I would advise you not to do that. Life is a crazy, fascinating thing. It's full of beauty and horror. But we do have the power of choice. It is easier said than done, I'll grant you that, but it is possible to make the choice not to carry the horror with you and to embrace the beauty. If you look, you will find something around you right now that is beautiful, something for which you are immensely grateful. Don't carry the darkness with you, my friend. I did that for decades, and I can never get that time back. What a bitter pill to swallow, that I wandered in dark, strange places for so long. And I didn't need to. I didn't have to, but I chose to. Cinder says, I'm a mom and I game in spare time. Been playing Baldur's Gate 3. How do you feel about Baldur's Gate 3? I'm curious. I played the original, but I have not played the new one yet. I loosely follow video games, but I very rarely have time to play. Very rare. I stopped playing. I stopped gaming essentially back in 2009. It was just such a time suck. I didn't have the time for it. Heather says, okay, yeah, maybe I mean perceptions because facts is facts. Facts. Like, there we go. Drew says, I tried saving a man in his 20s from hurting themselves or others. He was just a kid. And more bumper sticker wisdom, you can't save everyone. In fact, get become friends with the fact that maybe you can't save most people can't be saved. Most people can't be saved. Heather says, haha, I don't remember what I meant by dominoes. Rochelle says, I just love you and your thoughts on things. I'm so glad I got to meet you in person. Rochelle, likewise, is a moment I will never forget. Drew says, and during my security patrol, he left and was found unalive in a fatal single car crash. Yeah, these are tragic. I have an errant hair that's bothering me. These are um, these are realities that people, particularly people who choose to work in emergency services or public protection or private security, will have to deal with. What you would probably be well served to ask yourself, Drew, is, am I okay with this? Can I handle this? And if not, get into a different line of work. But it is an unfortunate reality that comes with certain jobs and vocations, and it requires a certain degree of uh, spiritual and emotional strength to leave the past where it lies in the past and not carry it with you. But carrying it with you can ruin you, and I don't recommend it. Drew says I should have stalled him so he would have gotten home safely. Well, if you had known that he was not going to arrive home safely, then yes, you should have, but you didn't know. And that's that. That is the period at the end of the sentence. There need be no more to add. There is nothing more to add. I know it's easier said than done, my friend. I understand. I have been there. Joshua Darrell Griff says, gotta go do some adult stuff, involves bourbon and peach tea. Well done, my friend. Uh, Joshua, you enjoy yourself. I'm grateful for you stopping by and hanging out with us in the live stream. You be safe, enjoy responsibly, and all that jazz, and you have a wonderful week, brother. Drew says he was only a kid. Yes, it is a unfortunate reality in this life that um, misfortune can and does befall anyone and everyone. It is no respecter of persons. It is indiscriminate, which should please the um, certain modern political factions that misfortune does not discriminate. Cinder says, unfortunately, your teeth, you don't like them. I've always wanted to get mine done, so curious. Well, I consider them an unsolicited gift. They grew into me and then they had to grow on me. It was a process with which I was not initially on board. Drew Bowler says, what with a lot ahead of him in life? That's very true, Drew. There's, good Lord, how many children leave this world every day? Thousands at least. The end of life is a part of life, and we must get real about that fact and accept it. Otherwise, our resistance to it, our resistance to the acceptance that death is a part of life, will become a cancer and it will eat us from the inside. And we're not going to be pleasant people to be around either. Miserable people are oftentimes very abusive people. So I understand the guilt, my friend, but you have a duty to your own mental health and well being and of those around you to maintain your focus on the fact that you did the best you could with the information that you had. You did the best you could. And that's enough. That is enough. Katie says Tej is beautiful inside and out. I freaking love her so much, and I do too. I love her so damn much. My lovely Tej. Roximo says, and that's on knowledge and intuition, says Nails. That Anonymous says Tej is strong in the force. Roximo says, love Tej. Roximo says Tej is literally in my band in my dreams. Green says, hello, haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Green, I am doing fantastic, my friend. How are you doing? Drew says he kept assuring me he was going to be okay. He had a convincing look to him. I feel it is, though, and I'm currently in Kentucky. LOL. Green says, hey, my ancestors come from Wales, too. The Welsh have the coolest flag, man. I don't care. I don't care who you are. The coolest flag. It's just a fact. I mean, a freaking red dragon. Dove says, oh my gosh, LMAO, all the lives have joined are talking about politics of some sort. Isn't it tiresome? It's so tiresome. It's so tedious. This live stream, we have not gotten into the specifics of politics. We've just commented on it from a detached perspective. Speaking about it from the outside looking in. But we virtually never get political here. I don't have the time and energy for that crap. It's a losing game. Vampy Kitten says, good to see you this evening, sire. Vampy Kitten, likewise. It is good to see you too. Thank you for stopping in. Ben Anonymous says, have you seen the new Eminem video? Excellent. No, I have not, actually. I shall peep that right after the live stream. And 20 minutes left in the live stream, guys. The Art Girl says, hello, just peeping in to see what it's all about. You were on my FYP. Art Girl, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. Hope you found something here that you feel is worthy of your time. Heather says, is the word coven basically another word for family? Yes, it is. I've heard so many stereotypes about coven. Yeah, just a word that we use specifically to loosely describe our little collective in the world of like-minded people who have coalesced from the shadows around our band, I Bleed Mercury. Green says, did you see my comments, friend? Green, I think I did. I believe I'm seeing your comments. Heather says, or is it a vamp coven? We don't really discriminate in that regard. If you can be cool and decent, treat your fellow human being with decency, you're welcome. You're welcome to be a part of our coven. Vampy Kitten says, I hope you are doing well tonight. Vampy Kitten, I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate that. Rochelle says, LOL should have explained more. I do believe M is going to try and get canceled by bringing Slim back. I don't know. I think I've always perceived. I mean, Eminem has made it clear he leans at least left of center, and if you're left of center, you're safer. You're safer from getting canceled. It's when you're right of center that you really have to worry about getting canceled. Uh, but maybe he's changed his politics. I don't know. I don't really involve myself in politics. The world does its thing, and I do mine, and I I suffer no delusions that I'm going to talk any sense into anyone. So I just live my life, and I focus on my own affairs. But I will definitely check out his video after the live stream. I'm curious to hear it. Chameleon says, you missed my comment due to the alternative word to pew pew, but I'm filming a short film in Burlington, Iowa soon. Pew pews are great. I own them and I think they're fantastic. And I think that anybody of sound body and mind should have a pew pew for defense. AltGirl88 says, Happy Sunday. AltGirl88, thank you so much. I hope you're having an awesome Sunday. AltGirl, thank you for stopping in and hanging out with us. Guys, do not squander time, for that is the stuff life is made of. And the fact that you spend your time here with me, with all of us here in the live stream, is so important because you're literally sharing the most important resource any of us has, and that's time. That resource that when gone, you get none of it back. So thank you, Alt Girl. I truly appreciate that. And Chameleon, I am very curious about your movie project, by the way. Scully, what's going on? Scully says, greetings, sire and Vampy family. Scully, I freaking love you. Where have you been? How's your family? What's going on? Sheila McPeak says, wow, it cost me $550 to $700 to go to Salt Lake City. Whoa, damn, that is not cheap. And why was it so much less expensive for the other person? Vampy Kitten says, you're such a kind-hearted, beautiful soul inside and out. DL, Vampy Kitten, thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words. I didn't always think that. Well, honestly, I'm not sure I think it now. Beautiful, I don't know that I'm beautiful. Kind-hearted, I try to be, but I fail all the time. I fail every day to be kind. I succeed in being a selfish, arrogant prick. I succeed at that far more than I feel that I succeed at being humble and kind. Bat Anonymous says, I don't like Sandler either. Yeah, I've never been a fan. I just never really thought he was funny. Heather says, I think it's awesome. It was kind of confusing at first, but awesome to see a vamp talk about God. Yes, well, there is a series of vampire novels by the author Michael Romke, and fantastic books, better than the Anne Rice books, in my opinion. And his vampires, much like humans, some believe in and have a spiritual connection to the creator, some don't. And that's how you would expect it to be in reality. That's how it is in reality. And I, for various reasons, absolutely believe in the existence of what many people would call a divine creator, divine being, God, by whatever name you call him, her, or it. I choose to call him God. And I have seen personal evidence that I can't prove. It's funny how that works. Because, like the George Michael song goes, you got to have faith. Faith is difficult. It forces you to exercise a spiritual muscle that, when exercised, expands and deepens your spiritual health and joy. But it's difficult. It requires practice. It's not easy. It's very, very difficult because you don't have proof. And here's the ball clincher. If there were proof, it would break the game. If people could be provided proof of God's existence, there would be no need for faith. And the negative consequence of that is that at that point, now you're not connecting, now you don't have a relationship with God through faith. You have it because you've been given proof, maybe visual proof or something. And that seems okay, but it's not, because you didn't build through faith that weak spiritual muscle and build it over time and cultivate your faith and make it stronger. It is that process that gives us deeper spiritual understanding and joy and happiness. And it kind of sucks that it is set up that way, but that is how it is. You can choose not to exercise faith. Absolutely. You have free will. That's a relationship between faith and free will. If you took away faith and gave people proof, then you would no longer have free will. The two are inextricably connected. Okay, you can remove the need for faith and provide proof, but in exchange, you're going to have to give up free will. Oh, you want free will, do you? Okay, all right, you can have it, but by necessity, it comes with faith. It means that you can't be given proof. You're not going to be given proof. You're going to have to go on a unique spiritual journey, personal journey yourself, and find out yourself and receive those revelations uh, organically as you go through your journey. You can have one or the other. You can have knowledge and proof, but you don't get to have free will. Or you can have free will, but you're going to have to exercise faith. Anyway, I don't want to get too deeply in the weeds. I think I'm already guilty of that. But yes, I do. But use, booze, do's, use. Use, booze, do's, use. I like that. Nita Barnes says, absolutely. Scully says, true words. True words coming out of my ass. No, I'm just kidding. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm not kidding. Vampy Kitten says, I'm immensely grateful for your... I screwed up my screen. I'm immensely grateful for your beautiful existence, beautiful music, beautiful words on life. Thank you, Vampy Kitten. I appreciate that. If I know anything at all, and that's it's a little iffy, it's only because I've made so many mistakes. Give me just a second, my friends. The light, the light. All right. Cinders says, I love Baldur's Gate 3, my favorite game now. Huh. I mean, maybe I should give it a shot. Uh, I've probably got 80 games on Steam, and I've only cracked open a small handful for a few minutes. I have video games, I just never have a chance really to play them. Scully, the beautiful Scully, says, every day I tell myself I will try to be as happy as possible. It's not easy, but it helps. It is not easy. There are things that will dramatically assist in the achieving and maintaining of mental health and spiritual, physical, and financial health. which are things that are important. It is important to be spiritually, physically, and financially fit. Some things that can help is volunteer work. When a person is engaged in some manner of labor to the service of another person who needs that help, that is, man, that's food for the soul. That's food. That right there can transform a person's world from being a dark, dreary, depressing place to completely transformed into a life that is fulfilling, rewarding, full of meaning and purpose. Physical exercise is another one that helps. Um, getting getting away from or getting help if you're having trouble getting away from dependency on chemical substances. We are not helpless, folks. There are things that we can do. There are things that we can do. Drew says, in the feeling of a son not coming home to their parents, I ask you all this, mom and dads, hold your kids, love them. It doesn't matter how old they are. Well said, because the Grim Reaper is coming for us all. Nobody is exempt. It is a natural part of life. Drew says, I'm the type to go out of my way outside my own job description to help those that need it. Now, service is noble. I would say it's non-negotiable, but be careful with that. Be careful, my friend. Uh, the rescuer must remember that he or she cannot rescue everyone. Matt Anonymous says, DL, the end of this life is the start of a new journey. I personally hold that to be true. Heather says, what exactly does covenant tell? I'm so tired of politics, OMG. You and me both. The coven is really just our private Discord where you can hang out and interact with other cool people. Simple as that. We don't do politics or any of that crap. People share pictures of their dinner, of their dog, of what's going on in their life at the moment. We have a lot of different cool channels in the Discord where you can share just about anything that's important to you and interact with other people for whom it is also important. Pixie Mama says, what do you use on your lips? I need it. It's from the brand Mynina. It's about $4 American dollars on Amazon. It's marketed as liquid eyeshadow, and it sets and then it doesn't smear. That's what's so great about it. This is the package it comes in. It's a open-proof package. Break out a blowtorch and an ice pick to get the damn thing open, but find it on Amazon. Rochelle says, DL, after you watch the end video, you have to message me and tell me what you think. I will do so. Scully says, Coven is our vampy family. That's right. That's right. Let's eat! Wasn't that from the new Dracula movie? Renfield? Let's eat! That Anonymous says, I have several pew-pews. Same here. Well done. And several thousand pew-pew projectiles. Well done. I have nothing to add, but bravo. Chameleon says, maybe I could use your music in the intro to my film. You would get credit. Sure, go ahead. I have no problem with that. Message me about it, please. That could happen. I have no trouble with that at all. Donna Herthel, it has been a minute, says, great seeing you, DL. Hope you're doing well. Donna, I am doing fantastic. Thank you. How have you been? Cinder says, I have no pew-pews and wouldn't want one. Fair enough. You are free to make that choice. My view is that everybody, to some degree, all other things being equal, mental health, physical health, financial health, etc., has a responsibility to some degree to see to the safety and security of themselves, their friends, and their family. Now, in a reasonably modern, sophisticated society, you sometimes can get away with avoiding that responsibility. However, by necessity, someone else will be required to take up that responsibility of seeing to your safety and the safety of your friends and family. I am just such a person. I am willing and ready and certainly able to step in between you and those who would cause you grave harm and defend you from those individuals. And that is why pew pews are a great option, because they are an equalizer for those unfortunate eventualities. I'm trying to be diplomatic. Scully says, LOL, I've missed you too, sire. I've been working weekends for too long. All work and no play makes Scully a dull girl. Nash says, I'm in the YouTube stream as well. Didn't realize you were on TikTok. Oh my gosh. I completely forgot to check the YouTube chat. Fortunately, nobody commented, which is kind of good actually, because if they did, that would mean that I've ignored them for almost 2 hours. 2 minutes left in the live stream, guys. Pixie Mama says, what do you use on your lips? I need to get some. Again, it's from the brand Mynina. Blue liquid eyeshadow, it's marketed as. The text will be inverted, but there you go. And for you, YouTube, Pixie Mama, if you can't find it on Amazon, send me a DM. Let's see, am I following you? Because on TikTok, two people have to follow each other in order to DM. Okay, I tried following you back. In any case, I will try to get you a link to this, and then you will have it. Sheila says, well said, you have a way with words. That's what your mom said. Oh. Lady Scream says, hello. Hello, Lady Scream. How you doing, Lady Scream? Jenny Craven says, do you glow in the sunshine? Indeed, I do not. Van Hanema says, but do you really want proof of God? Well, proof would undermine faith. You can't, and free will. So it's either proof, okay, proof that God does or does not exist, but now you no longer have free will because it's self-evident. And you follow blindly, not because you want to, not because you love God or wish to pursue a relationship with God through faith, but because there's no other choice. It is self-evident. And if there's no other choice, if choice has been eliminated from the equation, free will goes with it. You can have free will, but now you have to deal with faith. So it's an either or proposition. You can have free will, but you're going to have to exercise faith. Or if you want proof, well, you can have that, but you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to relinquish free will. Would I want proof? It sounds like a nice idea. It sounds like an attractive idea, but not at the expense of faith, because it is through the trial and tribulation and difficulty of exercising faith, exercising that faith muscle, that we gain insight and depth of understanding about life, about ourselves, and strengthen our relationship with God. So, would I really want proof? No, not at the expense of faith. Junebug says, good afternoon, DL. Good afternoon, Junebug. I hope you had a lovely Sunday. Good to have you here. Katie says, 10 minutes left already. Actually, we have gone overtime. I'm going to get the last few more of these comments and then shut it down. Sheila says, hope everyone here has a great week. See you all next Sunday. Why am I doing this? Why am I shaking my guitar? I don't know. I just felt compelled. Katie says, don't forget the chainsaw to open the lip shimmer. Yeah, opening these packages is stupid. One of these days, I'll open this on live stream and you guys can see just how fiddly and difficult it is. Cat Dog Gang says, hey, happy Sunday. Having a tough day. I hope everyone is doing well. Cat Dog Gang, I hope you have a better day. That sucks. I'm sending you a big squeeze, my dear, and I hope you feel better very soon. We're all sending you good vibes. Katie says, sending love and positivity to everyone. Well done, Katie. Thank you. Cinder says, it's illegal where I am unless you have a license. I have to go now. It's been a pleasure to listen to your take on this world. Cinders, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you be a part of the live stream. I hope you're able to make it next Sunday, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Cinders. And Cinders, I hope you have a lovely week. There you go. I am following you back. Cat Dog Gang says his name is Tyler. Will you give him a shout out? Tyler, what's going on, buddy? Cheers from all of us, from I Bleed Mercury and the I Bleed Mercury Coven, my friend. Vampy Kitten says, well, I have to go feed my daughter, but it was amazing seeing you two, sire. Have a great night. Vampy Kitten, you have a lovely week, my dear. Sheila says, LOL, your mom. Bat Anonymous, since we're at the end, much love to everybody. See you next week. Well said. Bat Anonymous says, Ramen. Rochelle, Wicked Dreams, love you all. Katie, love to see you next week. Scully, I've enjoyed being with all of you again. Miss you all so much. All right, my friends. That brings today's live stream to a close. I had a fantastic time. I hope you all did as well. Hope you all have a beautiful and safe week. Drew, take care of yourself, my friend. All will be well. Trust me. You're a good man and a kind soul. Cat Dog Gang, LL, he said, oh my goodness, that's me. Thank you. You made his day. Cat Dog Gang, absolutely my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure. Scully, love and adore you, and I miss you. My brother from another mother, if not my best friend, certainly one of my best friends, known me for most of my life, Slithering Black Records. I'm unsure if you're going to get this comment, but I really enjoyed your stream. Call you later. Much love, brother. Sounds good. Scully, love and adore you, my dear. Sheila, Cat Dog Gang, Cheryl Foster, Rochelle, Mama Christie, Katie, Bat Anonymous, Gabatron, Vampy Kitten, Cinders. Who else? Who am I forgetting? Onyx Raven, though I haven't seen Onyx Raven around these parts. Love and miss her as well. Raven, Siggy, love and adore all of you in the I Bleed Mercury Coven. You all have a wonderful week. Cheryl, getting ready to shut it down, my dear, but I hope you and the doggy have a lovely week. Hope to see you here next Sunday. Cheryl, Cat Dog Gang, much love to you too, my dear. You all be safe. Take care of each other. Be kind to each other. And I will see you next Sunday. Absolutely adore you guys. Thank you so much for the kindness, the love, the support, the good vibes. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye. And YouTube, that does it for me. You all take care of yourself. Have a great week.